Could the guilt that you're carrying not be your own? In this video, I will explain how it is possible that we get connected to and have feelings of guilt that do not originate in our life, but are intergenerational. I will explain how it is that you could be carrying the guilt of an ancestor and what it is that you can do about it. Hi, I'm Anna. I'm a conscious connection coach that helps sensitive people to heal their past and restore their self-worth so they can live life in flow and with purpose. So how is it that we can have unexplained feelings of guilt and yet for those feelings not to be our own? To understand this, it is important to consider that we're not only individuals, but we're an intrinsic part of a greater family system where we were born. And as a result, being part of that larger system, we are operating in a context where unprocessed trauma, limiting beliefs, family secrets, perpetrator and victim dynamics that are part of these previous generations continue to exert an influence in our life. In a family constellation, these dynamics can get revealed. And in that way, we can see where these guilt feelings that we're possibly suffering from originate. I will use an example so that I can illustrate how this can play out. Someone could be experiencing guilt and low mood, being somber and being sad without a particular reason in their own life. And in a family constellation, the origin of these emotions can get revealed. So in this case, the person happens to be closely connected to their grandfather who had taken part in the Second World War. During the war, the grandfather had lost many comrades and felt enormous guilt for being the only survivor. And the grandfather had carried this unresolved trauma with all the emotions of guilt during his own life, but had not talked about it. And in the context of a family constellation, where working with representatives, the representative of the grandfather was seen to be heavily burdened with these issues, and his granddaughter to be very much connected to him. When representatives for the deceased were laid down, it was very clear that the grandfather found it difficult to look at those representatives. In the constellation, it was possible to restore that contact and for the deceased representatives to let the grandfather know that they were okay with their fate and they were happy that the grandfather had survived and had managed to set up a family and that his line continued. In this context, the feelings of guilt could very well be seen where their origin was, and the client, the person doing the constellation, could relax not having to carry these emotions on behalf of her grandfather. So this is a nice example to illustrate how it is possible that unexplained feelings of guilt could have an intergenerational origin. So as a first step, it is important, if you cannot find an origin for these feelings in your own childhood and your own life to date, to consider what has happened in previous generations. Has there been trauma? Has there been a reason for the emotions that you feel now to arise in an ancestor? where they've possibly not been processed. The second step would be to meditate on that and make contact with that ancestor. I will be posting some guiding meditations to help you in that process. And of course, there's also the possibility of a family constellation to resolve these issues. Thank you very much for watching, and please let me know in the comments if you have questions.